AITA for telling my brother his son isn't his after overhearing my SIL's affair. My brother has been married for 5 years and has a 3-year-old son. One day, I overheard his wife's phone call with a guy from work. I was shocked to find out their son Izzy is an affair child. I told to my brother, then he did a DNA test to confirm, and now his marriage come to an end. I, 33F, never thought I'd be the one to destroy my brother's 35M marriage. But a few weeks ago, I overheard something I wish I hadn't, and now everything's blown up, and I'm not sure if I'm the asshole for what I did. My brother has been married to Anna, 30F, for 5 years, and they have a 3-year-old son, Ben. My brother absolutely adores that kid. He's the type of dad who's always there, changing diapers, taking him to the park, all that stuff. But I've always had this weird feeling about Sarah, like she was always just a little too distant. I don't know how to explain it, but I always got this vibe from her that something wasn't right. Anyway, about a month ago, I was at their house to drop off some things for Ben. My brother wasn't home, but Anna was there. I was just hanging out in the living room when I overheard Anna on a phone in the kitchen. At first, I wasn't even really listening until I heard her say, "I can't let him find out that Ben isn't his. He'd never forgive me." I literally froze. I thought maybe I heard it wrong at first, but she kept talking, saying something like, "I know it's hard, but you knew this would be the risk when we got involved." Turns out she was talking to a guy from her work, Mark, who she's been sleeping with for like 4 years. And the kicker? Ben isn't even my brother's kid. He's Mark's. I was shaking. I felt sick. I left before she could see I heard anything and drove home in a total panic. I had no idea what to do. I spent days debating whether or not to tell my brother. I mean, how the hell do you tell someone that their kid isn't really theirs? But I also couldn't just sit back and let him live this lie. After a few sleepless nights and talking to some friends, I decided I had to tell him. He deserved to know the truth. So I asked him to meet up for coffee, and I told him everything. He didn't believe me at first, but when I told him exactly what I heard, he went white. He went home and confronted Anna that same night, and it turned into a huge blow-up. Long story short, they're getting a divorce. He's heartbroken. And on top of everything, he did a DNA test, and it confirmed that Ben isn't his. Now his whole world is upside down. He still loves Ben, but everything's different, and I can see the pain every time he looks at him. The thing is, now some of my family's mad at me. They think I should have stayed out of it, that it wasn't my place to get involved, especially with Ben being so young. They say I broke up a family and that my brother would have been better off not knowing, but I just couldn't live with myself letting him raise a child that wasn't his, especially when Anna was keeping it a secret. Now, I'm questioning if I did the right thing. My brother's devastated. Ben's life is going to be affected, and my relationship with Anna is obviously ruined. So, AITA for telling my brother the truth and basically blowing up his whole life, or should I have kept quiet and let things play out on their own? Relevant comments. Commenter, your brother is your brother, and he deserved to know the truth. His wife broke the family by getting into an affair. It's better your brother knows now instead of later. Besides, from the sound of it, still sounds like the affair is going on. Commenter, don't let the few people in the family gaslight you. Anna is the idiot for cheating. Then on top, if she was just cool with basically using your brother for 3 years and having him provide care for a kid that isn't his, while the real father is seemingly MIA. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Tim and I do want to marry him. But in that moment, all I could think was, why now? He didn't say anything about my graduation, my hard work, or how proud he was of me. The entire speech was about how we were meant to be together, how happy he was to finally lock me down, and how it was the perfect time for him to propose. It felt like he was making the day about him and our relationship, rather than the accomplishment I had just worked so hard for. I stood there, completely shocked. I couldn't even focus on what he was saying, because all I could think was, this was supposed to be my moment. I wanted the proposal to be special, but not on the same day I was supposed to be celebrating my graduation. I felt like he hijacked a day that was meant to celebrate my success. Overwhelmed, I quietly left the room to process everything. Tim found me a little later, furious. He said I embarrassed him in front of everyone, and that I should have just said yes. I told him how upset I was that he chose that moment to propose, and that I felt like he turned my big day into something about him. He didn't seem to understand why I was so hurt, and now we're barely speaking. Some of my friends think I overreacted, and that I should have been happy about the proposal, but I just can't shake this feeling of being overshadowed. My family is split. My mom gets why I'm upset, but my dad thinks I should have gone along with it and talked to Tim afterward. I'm left wondering if this was just a case of bad timing, or if it's a sign of something deeper about how Tim views our relationship. So, AITA for walking out on my own proposal because I felt like Tim made my graduation all about him. Relevant comments. Commenter, proposals should never be public unless the person being proposed to has specifically said they want friends/family, strangers involved, and that accept in public, recant in private thing is utter BS. Commenter, the day was supposed to celebrate all the work you'd successfully done to set yourself up for a rewarding career. To your boyfriend, however, it was the earliest opportunity for him to finally lock you down into the future he wants you to have. You're right. This event was all about him. Your achievements are meaningless beyond that which benefits him. This gathering, its true purpose was irrelevant because it could be repurposed into something that benefits him. The night becomes about his proposal instead of your graduation. The future everyone discusses is about your wedding and marriage and not about your career options. At the very moment, you're supposed to be celebrating the wealth of opportunities now open to you. Because you now have a new identity that is qualified lawyer, he instantly reduces it all down to a single opportunity that rewrites your identity to future wife. Even now, you turning him down is all about him, how you embarrassed him, how you hurt him, how you had no right to turn him down. There is so little self-awareness and so little empathy for you, your achievements, wants, and needs, that I can't believe this is the first time he's downplayed, tried to control, or sabotaged something meant for you, and made it about himself instead. What you need to ask yourself is whether his selfishness, self-absorption, and sabotage here is a one-off or just the latest in a pattern of behavior that has escalated enough for you to finally notice. NTA. While he believes you've ruined his day, remember that he is the one who ruined your day. Thank you for sticking around until the end. If you liked our videos, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to keep up with our latest content. Have a wonderful day. Story 2. AITA for relocating without telling my parents and siblings and refusing to give my brother a house down payment. I, 33F, am relocating out of my home state in 2 weeks. I went no contact with my parents and siblings nearly 4 years ago, shortly after I purchased my current home. My parents are very blue-collar and grew up with only brothers. My brother is the only boy, the baby, autistic, and named his only son after my brother who passed away. He gets everything. My sister is very masculine, blue-collar, lesbian. I'm white-collar, educated, and very girly. My entire life I've always been the outsider, and they made sure I knew that, harshly. It was worse whenever I succeeded in life. No contact with them was the best thing I could have ever done for my mental health, and I'll never go back unless they're all in intensive therapy. Fast forward to this week, they found out I'm relocating out of state and selling my home. Naturally, the horrific texts have rolled through and are extra special. They know what I bought it for, and a simple search, they will know what I'm selling for. They're hurt, I didn't tell them, and want the money they gifted me to get my home to give my brother. I refuse to give them any access to my life. They gifted my sister her down payment, and me, but unable to, for my brother. Of course they think I'm an AH, and a few more nice choice words. My cousin and uncle say I should give the money because it's only 1/3 of my proceeds. I refuse. They gave my savings account to him that I had been building for years, but I'm second-guessing my decision to not tell them where I'm going or giving them the money back. I'm still their daughter, and they want to know my whereabouts. My brother has a 3-year-old son and 1-year-old daughter. It's expensive where we are, and I want the kids to have stability. So, am I ta? Edit to answer common questions. I am no contact. I do not initiate or engage with them at all. I don't have them blocked due to they will text me about important family updates like my uncle died or was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I have 11. Also, for evidence if needed for an injunction of harassment or something else, which has been the case in 2021. They found out through a family member who has early Alzheimer's. I will not go no contact or scold someone with a horrible disease over this. The savings account was a conservator account from when my brother and I got a settlement as babies. We both needed to be 18 and a court order to withdraw, but could add. I took advantage of it by adding birthday and chore money. My mom managed to get the court order for both when my brother turned 18. I was 19, and the bank gave her the funds. She gave it to my brother. I've no idea why she did, and can only guess. Relevant comments. Commenter. So much NTA. If you give them anything, it will never stop. Read your post. They stole your money to give it to their golden child. Thieves do not deserve or get anything. You are taking the absolutely best thing you can. Leave. Don't tell them anything. They don't get to know where you are going, where you are living. You might even consider a new phone number. You don't give them. They don't deserve to be part of your life. If they had wanted a loving daughter, they would have treated you like one. Commenter. NTA. But why are you second-guessing anything? Why should you stay in contact with people who mistreat you? Because they're family? I don't get it. OP. Because I have decades of abuse to condition my brain to do exactly what they tell me to keep the peace. I thought it was normal to be treated that way. No one told me any different till I ended up in therapy 5 years ago. It's not always easy to just stop lifelong behavior that became comfortable and familiar. Story 3. I have a crush on my daughter's teacher. So, my daughter is currently in year 1. Her teacher is absolutely brilliant. She's stunningly gorgeous, and we get along really well and have good banter when we talk. I can't tell if she's been flirting with me at all, but it feels like she may have been, although I am worried that's just in my head, and it's a case of girl being nice, because it's kind of her job to be nice to the parents. Anyway, I've wanted to ask for her number for a while, but I've been holding back for a couple of reasons, mainly being I don't know if she's single. She's my daughter's teacher, so it feels inappropriate. I'm not 100% sure she even likes me. I have a parents' evening coming up where it will just be me and her in the room. Obviously, the main focus is how my daughter's getting on, but my friend is egging me on to ask for her number at the end of this meeting, so I've come to Reddit for some help. I have 2 main questions that I'd love some advice on. 1. Should I even go for this? 2. If I am going to go through with this hoping for the best, is there any recommendations on how I could go about this to keep it as respectful as possible? Thanks. Edit response. Just want to clear up. I am single. Also, I am very aware that people in these sort of professions do have to come across nice as part of their job, which I did say in the main post as one of my concerns. No, I don't just assume anyone being nice to me is flirting, and no, I've never hit on or assumed a waitress or SMTH likes me because they're being nice. Anyway, thanks for all of the responses. My main takeaway was to, in the very least, do not pursue this while my kid is in her class. Thank you for grounding me, everyone. I hadn't thought about what impact that could have on my daughter. I think I'll be letting this one go unless she makes it clear on her end. Again, thank you everyone who didn't just call me a creep. Aha, relevant comments. Commenter, just wait until your daughter is on to the next grade. She is at her job and this would be very inappropriate given that she is teaching your daughter right now. But once your daughter has a different teacher, I think it may be all right. Commenter, dude, teachers talk. And if you ask for her number while she is currently your daughter's teacher, the entire school will find out. And you'll be the creepy dad that hits on the teachers, and it will stay with you for years, and it could circulate to other parents. Be patient, be kind, and if later, when she is not your daughter's teacher, and there seems to still be some perceived chemistry, then go for it. But not now. Even if she does reciprocate, it is incredibly inappropriate, not to mention unprofessional, and she would not be in a position to act on it. There is only one good answer. Wait until the school year is over and she is not her teacher. You have no business acting on this. Story 4. AITA for walking out of my own proposal because my boyfriend made my graduation all about him? This happened a few days ago, and I'm still struggling to wrap my head around it. I, 25F, recently graduated from law school. A massive milestone I worked incredibly hard for. It took years of sacrifice, long nights, and plenty of stress to get through it all. So, my graduation was a huge moment. Not just for me, but for my family and friends who supported me along the way. We planned a big celebration, and I was really excited to just enjoy the day with everyone who helped me get here. My boyfriend Tim, 28M, knew how important this day was. He's been with me through a lot of the tough times and has always been really supportive. The days leading up to the ceremony, he was acting a bit secretive, which I thought was him planning something sweet, like a dinner or a small surprise to celebrate. I figured he'd do something thoughtful, but I wasn't expecting what actually happened. After the ceremony, we were at a reception with my family and friends, enjoying the moment. I was so proud of myself and grateful for the people around me. Suddenly, Tim stood up, clinked his glass, and got everyone's attention. At first, I thought he was about to give a speech, congratulating me on my achievement. But then, out of nowhere, he got down on one knee and started proposing.